Okay, I am live. We are live. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Sudha Jamthe, and this is Sudha Live, my monthly time with you, with my students, to talk to you about one of three rotating topics. Today, we are going to talk about upskilling AI for your career. And I'm a technology futurist and educator with courses at LinkedIn. I've taught in multiple places, so I'm hoping to see my students from Stanford or Barcelona Technology School or any of the EMBA consortium students. But I do this mainly to meet my LinkedIn students and for all of you who are trying to figure out where is AI going, how do I upskill AI, and how do I grow in my career. So some of you might be joining here saying, I career pivoted to AI. I want to move to AI roles from a different role. Or some of you, or most of you that have been in touch with me, already have learned AI, have taken some of my courses, and are here trying to figure out what is the new buzzword. What am I learning? Where should I go? So, the way I do Sudha Live is on this topic of upskilling AI, I have a framework. So, it's more like a lesson that I'm going to talk to you. But if you've taken my classes live, you know I like interactive classes. And at the end of the day, you go home with your own thinking, figuring out what are your transferable skills, what is it that you're focused on, what you could do better, right? And hopefully, as people are chatting here on the live, you will be able to make some friends. And let me see. One of the things LinkedIn makes me do is to uh, actually reload every time I see a comment. Okay. So if you're joining me on LinkedIn, feel free to add a comment. And I would like to see, where you want to take this discussion. Because as we were talking earlier, there's so many different levels of experience or levels of readiness of AI. Like in companies have levels of readiness, people have that. And so you might be in a different stage of your journey. And some of you have been pinging me about certain tools and technologies and wondering what do I recommend, what do I not recommend. I'm agnostic to any company, any specific tool. I am not affiliated with any brand. I'm an independent person, but I have a lot of opinions. So if something is done well, it is going to be useful and ethical. I will recommend it. You see them all the time. I share a lot of jobs and opportunities in my newsletter called Limitless that just went out on Monday. Usually, I do the Sudha Live in the middle of the month, Wednesday this time. Uh, and the newsletter goes out just that Monday, and from Elam from my team. Okay. So, what are we talking about here? So, if you're looking at, where are we going with AI? What are the new trends and, specific technologies? I cover AI trends once a month in Sudha Live. And then the next month, I focus on physical AI, AIoT, or software defined vehicles, edge AI, everything related to devices, cameras, all kinds of things. So, industries like manufacturing or smart cities, all of those will benefit better, especially if you're working closer to IoT. Then I'd cover that 1 month, and then I come to career growth. So this month we are not talking about AI trends. We are talking about upskilling for AI. And if you have a burning question, if you post it in the comment, I will be sure to give you pointers. I will answer you. But I'm going to be focusing on upskilling for AI. Okay. So, why do we need to upskill for AI? AI has been around for many years now. In fact, it's 3 years since ChatGPT came and Gen AI picked up, and LLM is the one that we are focusing on a lot. But there is traditional AI, and then we've come to Gen AI, and then there is a lot of chaos on this model, that model, reasoning model. And is it just the model? Are we going anywhere else? right? So what I have done is I've put together a framework. That's what I do in my classes. And I'm assuming you're coming from my LinkedIn courses. So I'm just going to show you the lists. Oh, back. I went to a LinkedIn window and it's talking to me. Okay, so for those of you joining, thank you, LM. I see the comments here. So those of you, I see the numbers, so I don't know who you are. So you can get the most benefit by asking me a question or introducing yourself or saying something relevant to AI. So the easiest thing would be if you are my student, I would like to know if you have taken any of my courses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my list of courses right here from LinkedIn only. Let me share my screen. No, not that one. Let me find the right one. Because I have several courses. I think I have about 8 courses now. Okay. And for those of you who are interested in AI trends, there is a AI trend course. So this is my list of LinkedIn learning courses. If you go to LinkedIn and put my name, uh, you can actually find my courses too. Instead of choosing person, you can just find me, but this is the URL for finding my courses. Um, and everything I'm going to be sharing here today or any follow-ups that I promise, I will share on my learner community, Business School of AI, right here on LinkedIn. And also there's a businessschoolofai.com, which has all the information. And I have nothing selling that is in there. So it's all my community content and resources. Okay. So if you are looking at latest trends, and if any of you ask questions about any of them, I will bring you to the right resource in here. But there is a AI trends course that has been taken by almost all of my students. I would say I have about 100,000 students on LinkedIn. Everyone loves this AI trends course because this is a living course that keeps on growing, and each I wouldn't say a specific frequency, I can't say each week, but every new topic that shows up, that is included here as a new lesson. I'm going to close out the AI. I want to talk to real people here. So if you're looking at a new word that is the order of the day, and you say, hey, is this good, bad? What does this really mean? How does this fit in? What should I be looking for? How do I even use it? A lot of detail hands-on will be here. The same thing for all the latest new topics, or you can go back and you can understand right from, the physical AI is one of my topics that I have given a lesson here. You can understand right from the basics. If you're new to AI, you can understand this. And if you're hearing, a lot of different topics, or even like the LLM landscape and getting started, and, all those things are here. And then the newer topics are being added continuously. So this is a course that I would recommend. It's called AI Trends, and it's a free course. It's not affiliated with any your membership or anything professional plan in LinkedIn. Okay. So outside of that, my other courses, I'm just going through this list here. I'm not going to go specific on any of them. If you're new to AI, there are like no code AI courses. If you're new to AI on connected products, that is IoT, then there are courses for that. My hottest new course that many of you have taken, I think I have about, I can't give the exact number, but close to 70,000 learners have taken the Agent AI course. This is a very solid course. I try to keep my course using no code so that, a wide range of different roles can take it. But I do have tools in there and hands-on demos and challenges that you have to finish to get a certificate. If you don't want for a certificate, if you're just going to review the course, I think you can do that too. So this is a hot topic on agentic AI. Again, based on your questions, I'm going to go answer your questions and tell you what you can do. They're like personalized agents, agents on the browser, and a whole bunch of things where, there's a lot of buzz happening in recent times. And one of my other courses that I'm seeing a lot of activity is this one, innovating with AI design using autonomous vehicles. Basically, I teach 2 of my courses using autonomous vehicles as the example. It's not limited to autonomous vehicles. I'm making a point about a device, And you cannot think of an autonomous vehicle as a device, but it's a thing, right? It's a product, it's a physical thing. So I love it. And so but this course is about designing AI interfaces. So if you're a UX designer or a product manager or product designer, this course is perfect for you. So I'm going to pause here. I'm going to see questions. This is also streaming on YouTube, but I'm not going to be able to come there and look at questions or anything. So I'm just going to stick to LinkedIn. I'm going back to LinkedIn right now. Thank you, Ella. First time. Okay. I see some users coming in. Thank you. Thank you for joining. So awesome. Thank you. So I would appreciate if you ask me questions. Otherwise, I'm just going to jump in. So if you are here, if you've taken any of my courses, add in the comment what course you've taken. Have you taken my Agent AI course? Have you taken the AI for connected product course? Or have you taken, oh, I see. Okay. Thank you, LM. LM has added the link for the Agent AI course. I'm going to give you the framework in a minute, but it is important for me to know, especially I'm seeing comments about good to be here and first time here. That's all awesome, guys. It just makes my day every time I see my learners. But I want this to be very interactive and useful for you. So if there is any particular question, if you've taken any of my courses, I would like to hear what course you've taken. You can put that in the comment. Or if you are working with AI, tell me what you're doing, or like what kind of things are you building product, are you figuring out, are you new to AI? Just tell me this, right? That would help kind of shape this discussion. Okay, so with that, LM, we should also share the limitless newsletter, because the most recent one uh, is full of jobs, right? People have been looking at where are the jobs. And I've been seeing like funny comments. I mean, it is not supposed to be funny, but it does make me feel like it's funny, because I see a lot of comments about the most recent one yesterday was like a news article, and a bunch of pundits have been saying this, saying the jobs are not going away. AI is not taking your jobs. AI is taking a part of your job. This is a quote. This is not my quote. I do not agree to it. Saying that AI is not taking your job but taking part of your job sounds kind of ridiculous. So is it a tool that is just, helping you do some part of your job? So I want you to think about this. So when I'm going to give you my AI, upskilling AI for career framework, I'm not going to give you a picture with a lot of different technologies for you to say, oh, I know this, I don't this, oh, I don't know this, and let me go learn that and go home. I want you to upskill for AI for your career, whether your career pivoting to AI, whether you are in the industry and saying, what's going on? I'm holding on to my dear job. And how am I going to grow? How am I actually going to innovate and sustain and do something meaningful, purposeful in my career? And how is AI going to help it? Is AI going to help it? So I want you to be aware that this is as much as a thinking exercise as you're going to go through my framework with me. That's why I'm giving you a lot of prelude. It's not going to be a bunch of technologies. You're just looking for, here are the list of technologies you should learn. Here are the list of the AI tech stack that you should be learning. There must be other people doing that, but that's, and you will get that from my framework too, and by following me, because I love latest new trends and I track them as a technology futurist. But I am grounded in, does it make sense? Is it here to stay? Is it going to help you? Is it going to help my learners? Is my focus mainly. Okay. LM, are we able to find the limitless newsletter post, especially the May newsletter? Thank you, LM. I'm actually going to use LM's list to go show that to you. So one of the things I do with LM support every month is to go find the latest in jobs and opportunities, and just bring that in once a month in the newsletter, so that there is a place for you to go. Okay, I have too many LinkedIn windows open, so I'm going to close that. Okay, so this is called limitless, because I believe every one of us is limitless, and what we feel as limited, I don't know coding, I cannot do OpenClaw, or I am not, I'm not able to have access to so much compute, so I won't be able to do AI, or I won't be able to bring machine translation for my language because this is not available in open source. I'm still talking a limitation in a technology industry when you're sitting trying to access technology, and this can go to many other areas. But the important thing is, there's no limit. If you accept it, then you're going to stop looking for solutions. So what I end up doing is, in this world of today, when there are a lot of layoffs and there are a lot of job losses, uh, and claiming that it's because of AI on one end, and then saying, hey, you have to learn AI, you have to learn more AI on the other end. It's very confusing. So each month I end up compiling a bunch of different jobs and opportunities. And so you will find all of that here, right here, showcase, right? A lot of them. And I vet them. I don't just random frivolous give you jobs that go to different sites that are now saying, now click here, and then, so you won't find yourself clicking on a job or anything that takes me to any of my sites, because my only site that I'm sharing with you is LinkedIn. And you can come to my learner community if I can be of help to you. Okay, so with that, I am going to see, let me see the comments again. Oh, I love questions. Thank you. I'm just trying, Mayowa, right? What is the difference between AI no code and AI with code in their approach to solving problems? Good question. Thank you. So initially, the no code started as a no code, low code movement, saying we need to give tools to customers so that they can solve problems themselves, like business people or data owners in large companies. We want to give them tools. But what happened was, the no-code tools were built by engineers. And so when engineers are building, when they're doing engineering and software engineering, and they are building a product, when they made no code, they basically said, hey, we are giving you this tool, but think like us. Think analytically, think programmatically, and then you can use that. So that's what happened with the initial no-code tools. And with no-code AI, in my no-code AI class, I have a bunch of tools that I show, and I try to give them those that are free, right? So, or at least the version that you will use in my classes are not going to be, under a subscription, unless you want to go upgrade or do something. Again, I try not to endorse a specific brand and something, so I'm not going to give you that. So the part of your question that interests me, and I'm assuming that's where you're focusing, about approach in solving problems, whether you're using a no-code tool or an AI with code tool. So when I'm talking about AI with no code tools, I started out saying, I'm going to teach you whatever I was teaching you, but without coding, so that you can understand the concepts, you can understand how AI works at a fundamental level, how you can design, how you can, do feature engineering, how you can get it to work. With generative AI, what happened was, all you have to do is a bunch of prompts, and then you're making AI do a lot of generation. Right? I want to be very careful, because AI generating images, AI generating language to chat with you, AI giving you a summary of things are considered no code. But in my mind, when I'm thinking no code, I'm not just thinking about, hey, you're not coding, now you're prompting. That's where the world has gone. Now what has happened is, coding itself has shifted, and now you can do vibe coding. So you can make the AI code for you, and then you look at the code running on the screen, and then the engineers look at it, verify it, and whether it is doing what you asked it to do, or is it hallucinating, because Gen AI hallucinates, and it will hallucinate even when you do coding. So the world has shifted. So from when I started with no code and say, hey, here's a tool by which you can do what I'm teaching you to do. You don't need programmatic thinking to prompting as no code, vibe coding as no code is the world we've come to. So I want to set that difference. And if your question is specifically on thinking about prompting or vibe coding, please clarify and I'll answer that question. But I'm going to take a step back and talk about approach to solving problem. Recently, I heard one of the tech leaders quote saying the software engineering is changing, and people are not going to be software engineers; they are going to be software builders. And it goes back to how whether you're using AI or any technology tool, you're trying to solve a problem. So defining the problem, understanding the problem, being able to translate it in the case of AI to a technology requirement, and then being able to build the right tool, build the right AI. And the AI could be coming from vibe coding, it could be coming from a coding tool, it could be coming from a no code AI tool, and then from there to go build the AI system is the difference. So if you're using an AI, no-code AI tool in my classes, I'm typically thinking that you're going to run a quick prototype. You're going to test, like if you want to know, is there customer churn in my company? What is the root cause? Here I have vast amount of data. What is going to help me? I need to go to the data scientist to build a model for all the data that I can get for my customers. That could be petabyte of data, but I'm going to test my hypothesis. You could use no code and just do it, and then go to your IT department, or how your company is structured to do that. Right? I'm not talking about using vibe coding to just say, oh, not going to use a marketing person. I'm just going to do their job, because I do not believe that anybody who just knows to generate code from AI can do everybody else's job. That's the biggest myth that is troubling everyone who's trying to upskill, trying to grow, to put AI to good use, because AI is built with many people. So if your question is here about specifically with vibe coding, please add a comment and I will reply back to that. But overall, if you're going to build with AI to solve problems with AI, you need to understand, you need to bring your domain knowledge. Let me share the framework. I've been saying that for a while, so I'm going to share that for real now. Back to some place where I have built this up. Share my screen back. Okay. So, and if you guys have feedback, I will update this, because this is the first version that I've put together. So what I'm talking about is an AI upskilling framework. What does that mean? I'm going to give you a framework that you can use to figure out what you need to learn in this vast world of AI. There's many different AIs, lot of new technologies coming under AI. There is old traditional AI, Gen AI, and then there are several aspects of the application of AI, all combined as AI, right? So there are many different things I believe you have to learn, many different topics you have to learn, many different competencies that you have to build. But the way to think about it is follow along, like I'm starting from the bottom. I'm going to walk through this, and I'm going to do one round, and then if you have questions, I'm going to come back, look at the chat. I cannot look at the chat right now when I'm showing you this, so bear with me, and I'll come back, here if you need me again. Okay. So the way I'm thinking about this is, and you can see this in all my courses, whatever kind of topic that you're learning, I try to teach you multiple different AI tools for the AI, application for the AI, ethical consideration for the AI, and then the design aspect or business aspect or whatever, if that makes sense for the course. So if you're going to upskill yourself to grow in your career using AI, you need to have some foundational AI knowledge. And so this is this layer: machine learning, computer vision, large language models. Again, I have removed everything that is hype according to me, everything that's a distraction according to me. I have written things that I believe you will benefit from learning to keep your job, do something useful in your job, grow in your career, and survive this phase of uncertainty with AI. So uh, I believe everyone coming into this AI industry needs to know the inner workings. What is this AI? What does it do? How does it work? They need to know. And in all my courses, that's the no code aspect I'm talking about. I give you a very foundational knowledge of how AI works, how large language models work, computer vision models, what are the different models, how do they work. Anything I talk about, I give you an English version of how it works. And I believe you need to know that. And AI is trained by data, and the different kind of data makes a different kind of AI. So machine learning is broadly a structured data. So it's, if you're dealing with a lot of numbers, and especially numbers, I think machine learning is the way to go. And I'm combining machine learning and deep learning as one bundle here. Computer vision is the AI that is trained and applies on images and videos, right? And then large language models is Gen AI. Gen AI is a broad bucket, but Sora is dead, so we don't have, real business focus going on creating images or pretending that AI can make art. Now we are talking about real enterprise where you can create value, or if you're in tech industry, where you can take a large language model, do something useful with it to take it to the next level. So at a foundation level, you need to understand that all of these are possible, right? What is possible? How do they work? What is it, right? And then my recommendation to you, if you're new to AI or you're saying, I'm overwhelmed, too much is going on, I need to pivot, I need to go focus, then pick one of these. I believe all of you need to know all three, how they work. Computer vision, especially, I shared some jobs recently. There was some internships and stuff. Even I believe Netflix has some kind of video coding PhD job, I believe. So that is much more specialized than machine learning. Anyone can jump in and learn machine learning. I believe you need to understand computer vision and models enough if you're going to be using cameras at your work or doing facial recognition, that kind of applications, right? But otherwise, going inside and building technology for car cognition for a self-driving car is very specialized skills that you cannot just learn from a course. So I would not recommend just a computer vision course, but machine learning, deep learning, you can learn. You still need to know what is computer vision if you're going to be working with image related technologies. And I'm not a fan of generation on the image side, but using images for camera data and or for all kinds of applications is amazing area of growth. So I would recommend to learn that. And they collect a lot of images and stuff, but then it comes back to doing machine learning using image data. So it's kind of, connected. So you have to learn machine learning at a fundamental level, know how all three works. And out of Gen AI, I would say large language model has arrived, and that's where everybody is focusing. So don't even worry about generally, I need to understand Gen AI and all the other different tools. I do have a course on that to give you a foundational knowledge where I talk about LLM in depth and LLM capabilities, but you need to understand large language models. And that's a growing area that has been going on since ChatGPT for the last 3 years. That doesn't mean that we are just going to stick with large language models, because under the hoods of the large language model, it is nothing but unsupervised learning, which comes under machine learning. So think about this in perspective on how these work, right? But then pick one path. Pick one path, and it doesn't matter. If you do not pick LLM, you're not going to fall off the AI train. It doesn't matter. You can pick computer vision or machine learning and still have a job, grow, continue to grow, pick up the next trend that comes, and you'll still be fine. But you need to focus and get really good at that. And then whatever kind of AI you learn, you need to understand the ethics of it. If you do not build responsible AI, you're not going to be having a job for long. You're going to be booted out of whatever room you're in, whatever role you're playing. And you don't need to be a policy person. You don't need to be doing anything that is out of your way. And if you're a policy person, great, we need you. So, but anybody who's building, I try to focus a lot. I come from being an engineer, worked in tech industry. I've done a lot of product management roles for a long time. I've done my own startup, and I've done marketing and developer marketing. I've done focused on developer network, and bulk of my career, I've focused on being in analytics and data. I love data. And so I've kind of seen the whole gamut of different job roles. And I see with AI, a lot of different roles come together to make AI happen. And sometimes there is conflict, sometimes there is collaboration, but you need to know your role. So whatever your role in AI, you need to understand these four areas of AI ethics or responsible AI. Fairness or bias, inclusion is about making AI work for various different customer types. Explainability is about transparency, and AI is not transparent. Now, how are you going to make it transparent, and why? And hallucinations, especially important when you're dealing with text and large language models. All of them hallucinate, make things up. And a big portion of building and making AI work for you is about how to avoid hallucination, how to stop the hallucination. Think of a chatbot which is talking to your customers. And if the chatbot is promising some kind of refund or a special deal that you don't have, it can do it. It will happen. It does happen when you continue to chat with chatbots as customer support. So how do you avoid the hallucination? And there are techniques and technologies around that. So you can pick one of these. If you go in this, you can even go and say, I'm going to become a fairness metrics person. I'm going to become an inclusion person. My research that I do outside of my teaching, I do research and publish research. And you can see my Google Scholar. I focus on inclusion. I focus on inclusion in autonomous vehicle. I focus on inclusion in language AI. I focus on various areas. So that could be your thing. I have a student, Yashashwini. Her specialty is explainability, and she's done so much machine learning and so many other things. So each of this box can take you somewhere, but you need to be very grounded on what am I doing, why am I doing, what is my timeline that I'm focusing on. So get a foundational knowledge, understand AI ethics in these 4 dimensions. And then the next thing is you could say, okay, I want to learn AIX design. I showed you one of my courses on AI design, innovating with AI design using autonomous vehicle as an example. And if you're in UX design or product design, especially a PM of any kind, even if you're not a design-oriented PM, you need to know AIX design. How do you create that human-computer interface? Especially AI understands only data. You feed data to the AI, it takes the data, makes predictions, and returns answers back in data. And so it is important to know how do you design that interface when data is the language of your program. So that is important. And especially UX designer, you need to know AIX design. And especially when you go in there, it could be machine learning design. It's called MLUX, or it could be designing for voice interface if you're going with this large language model track. So again, it can take you anywhere. So again, pick one of these, and then you learn all of these, and then you go back to, again, learning each of these for your particular track that you've picked. That's my recommendation. I want to stop the share, come back, because going over the framework is taking much longer than I thought. So what I will do is I want to make sure that I answer your questions. Okay. Just for those of you who are here, do you have any questions so far? So I've told you, I've just covered the foundation AI knowledge layer. And I've told you pick 1, 3, learn the foundation of all of them, of what they are at some basic level. And I have basic courses also on my LinkedIn LinkedIn learning courses. And there are other people's courses. You don't have to be talking to me only because you're taking my LinkedIn courses. I'm talking to my learners because I want to help you. But even if you've taken a course from MIT or somewhere else, or Udemy, you can still come talk to me, because I want to help you, because we are in this together. So if you have any question related to what I've been showing you about the foundation layer, can you share the AI upskilling framework? Yes, thank you so much. So if you follow the Business School of AI, that's the easiest thing here on LinkedIn. Business School of AI on LinkedIn. I will give you, uh, I will share the framework as a follow-up. And we have like activities and stuff that we do. I have a newsletter, I have like a mailing list, and so I will be sharing in multiple places. But right after this, everything that I'm giving here, I will be sharing via the Business School of AI. At least there'll be a post that will lead you to where you can get this. Yeah, deal. Okay. If you have any questions, if you don't have any questions, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen again. Back to the next layer. So we just covered the AI foundation layer, right? Where's my, keep losing that window, guys. That's not good. Okay. Where is that window? Okay, so the next layer. So I was talking about how AI understands data. AI is trained by data and it interacts only with data. So if you have any foundation knowledge of AI, you know that AI is trained by data, right? So that means you have to learn data and you have to have understanding of data. I know several people who get started with AI, and I have somebody in my team who's really good with language AI, but then she's gone back to, hey, I need to understand data analytics and data better. And I'll tell you why. So you have this one layer foundation, you picked one of them, right? Now, to understand data, you have to understand what is data, right? AI is trained by data. What is data? So I can do justice to that here. In my AI IoT course, I have a lesson which is very detail oriented about the different kind of data from a device perspective, but it covers a lot of different data. So if you're interested, I can even give you just one of the lessons. So add a comment. I will come back. I'll make sure that I give you everything that I'm promising here. Okay. So different kind of data. And then when you're dealing with data, it's important to understand two perspective. One is the privacy of the data, security of the data. You cannot be using somebody else's data without understanding how to manage this differential privacy, privacy by design. There are different technology frameworks and different rules and compliance that you have to follow. And GDPR is the big rule from EU. And so if you're working with EU, a lot of technology companies do this for any customer data they're dealing with for EU, they follow GDPR. They don't do that when they come to US data. So we in US do not get GDPR protection. But then we have privacy laws for California, for Illinois, for New York, and we have very fragmented privacy laws, which are all similar to GDPR. But fundamentally, GDPR says the customer owns the data. The customer has a right to know how you're going to use the data and give you permission or say no. And if you change your mind and want to use it for something else, you have to tell them again. And the third thing is they have a right to forget. They say, I gave you permission to use the data. Now I'm changing my mind. Forget my data. So there's a whole field of research called unlearning that is evolving because of that. And because once AI learns from the data, it doesn't really forget. It's sitting in its neural brain somewhere. So there's a lot of technologies around that. So if you want to go and say, I got this AI thing, but I love data better, you could make your entire career only in this blue area of the data, right? You can become an expert only on data privacy. There's tons of people who focus only on security, especially now with Anthropic, cybersecurity, and how do you use AI models? How do you manage cybersecurity when there are AI models involved by being used by malicious players? There's like a whole field evolving. Pam Cole is one of our speakers from our community who's an expert in this. Pamela Gupta is an expert in this. I will tag them when I come out of the share. There's a lot of interesting people that you can follow, or there are courses and stuff, yeah, that you can take. So again, learn data. And then it's important to understand training data is what you're using to train the AI. Validation data you will use as a product manager to validate the AI model when it comes out from engineering. That's how it's built in technology industry. And then if you're in production, you're building, if you're using AI, so when you go to Google and it is chatting with you, or if you pick up your phone and it is doing autocorrect, and all the gazillion places where in recommendations on e-commerce sites or travel sites or all kinds of summaries you're getting, all of them are AI, but all of those AI are in production, that means they are in inference, and it is talking to you by inference data. So think about this. If you're using AI to get a, for in finance, and it says, say, let's say banking, and it says, am I going to give a loan to this person, yes or no? So the AI is going to do some kind of classification model, and it is giving, give loan to this person, yes or no. So the yes or no is the answer it's going to give. Or it could be saying, hey, what shares should I invest in, and it's going to give a list. Or which customers am I targeting, it's going to give a list. So everything is going to come as data. So it's important to understand that inference data. And then this is where, people who work with me, who are working on language AI, go back to, hey, tell me about data, I want to learn data. Because training data, when you do a course, will give you like a nice clean spreadsheet and say, hey, run this, and here you will learn this, right? And you will learn whatever model they're teaching you, and you will come out saying, I got it, and pass the quiz and get a certificate. But then when you go into real work, you won't be able to use it, because you have to deal with data sets. And in fact, there is a Google search engine for data sets. And there's tons of data sets and how you organize them. So learning about data sets and benchmarks is a type of data sets that tests whether the AI is good or bad. I'm going to stop for a minute because I want to show you a very beautiful course that is from Stanford, that is on AI measurements. And this is a textbook that is used for that course, called AI Measurement Science, and it has free access. It's amazing. Basically, it is talking about building benchmarks, understanding benchmarks, and how to build metrics and measurements in AI. And and it's all statistics. So if you're building AI, this is a very beautiful book to understand the measurement aspect. And on the ethics side, one of the topics that you will see is this whole red teaming and adversarial evaluation that again came from Anthropic, and this became news recently. How do you do that? What, when you're building an AI model, if you're going the large language model track into models, how do you actually make sure that your AI is not going to go do something bad? And then you do that's called red teaming. And a lot of the large companies have red teaming as a structured measurement, and they check for attacks on what they're setting as the boundary that AI would not do, and how do they measure that. So that's all comes under measurement. So when you're thinking measurement, I would like you to expand your thinking, your definition of measurement to much more than just measuring the performance of AI. That's what used to be in the past. I built this AI and I'm making a prediction. What is the performance of it? And it's doing this with 80% confidence. Now let me throw more data at it. Let us improve it. And now with this whole concept of red teaming and adversarial evaluation, it becomes more, there's more synthetic data and a lot more logic that goes into it. It's a very interesting growing area that I would recommend. If that is your thing, then I think that might be useful, okay? And a useful area to focus and grow. And I was here at benchmarks and here, so I'll add measurements here. I think that would be a good thing to add to this framework. Sorry. Confusion matrix is the basic uh, 2x2 that every engineer gets when they build any of the traditional AI on testing and validating how the AI is performing. What I told you as basic performance, that goes to confusion matrix. RAG and fine tuning are how you make if you go the LLM route, how you take the LLM to look at your own enterprise data or your company data, or limit it to specific data. When you do fine tuning, when you even expand to multiple languages. So again, I want to pass other questions related to this data track. So we covered the foundation track. Now we said data track. And you could just learn data analytics and learn how to draw insights from there. Analytics is the stats part of it, and insights is how you would draw insights. Use your own business acumen and think about that, how to connect the dots from your own knowledge of knowing your customer. And data engineering is preparing the data to become training data to build AI. So that's the two layers. And then comes the next layer is the application layer. And again, I have selectively picked the areas that I believe are useful, where I see jobs, where AI is already creating value. I have not included every possible industry in here. That doesn't mean that industry is not important. I've broadly left it as manufacturing, but it could be in various different realms of manufacturing. Your specific industry might come under that bucket, so don't worry about it. But I'm calling out where I'm seeing activity, I'm seeing growth. Automotive is actively using AI. A lot of different manufacturing industries are using. We had an event called IoT Day with 24 IoT women speaking on April 9th. And that's right here. There's a live stream in Business School of AI. And we had a beautiful session from Sharmishta Roy from Ford, who talked about AI in manufacturing. Again, buildings, smart buildings, smart home are all using smart cities. They're all using AI. They're using for energy efficiency in buildings. Smart cities, lots of cameras and data is how that is being used. Healthcare is the top industry where AI is being used. And initially it was like, oh, let's put, with machine learning, we could just, now do AI in various industry. And then healthcare was the first industry they realized we can do this without domain knowledge. And so if you're following Dr. Fifi Lee or Professor Andrew Nig, you will see their work, how it has evolved with a lot of healthcare, especially Dr. Fifi Lee did a lot with healthcare. And so now I'm seeing a lot on health informatics or applications, medical devices. Again, if you go the device route, IoT and AI and connected products, you could use that with sensors and medical devices. Tons of healthcare applications. And again, you can take any of the track that you've chosen, right? There's a lot of devices that use computer vision, a lot of health informatics that uses machine learning, and there's a little bit of LLMs that is being used in the healthcare industry. And then there's machine translation for local applications. That's a huge area. uh, it all comes back to what local applications are you looking at. I want to talk about a little bit about languages and support in a minute, but I want to finish up this stack. The other thing is, uh, AI has been used in functional AI. What I call as functional AI is by human resources. When you apply for a job, who's going to get the job? Not even who's going to get the job, who's going to get called for the job. Sorry. Usually keep water next to me. I forgot to bring it. So um, you have human resources using AI in so many different ways. What we see outwardly is when you apply for a job, it gets filtered by an AI. So for all of you who are trying to apply for a job, just don't do application online, because all you're doing is talking to an AI, and it's not giving you feedback on what it is liking or why it's rejecting you, or whether it is rejecting or not. Marketing and sales has been one of the first front runners using AI. And a lot of people are thinking, oh, I'll generate copy and I will make the AI do the creatives and I'm done. I don't need marketing. That's a mistake, because every role here comes with experience and knowledge. And that knowledge needs to be translated into whatever you're building, and that is where AI becomes a tool. So if you're just thinking marketing is about writing a copy and uh, making some creative, then that's not going to replace your marketing person. It might replace a marketing person if you let go of them. That would be a mistake. But you need to take a step back, especially if you are working in marketing or sales. I think you are at more risk, and so you have to explain to yourself what is the value you bring, and then see, that comment about AI is not taking all away the jobs, it's taking away some portions of the job, comes from such observations. They're saying, oh, AI is replacing copywriting. But good copywriting versus dumb copywriting, you would know only if you have the experience as a marketing person who is result oriented and has seen things in the industry. So it's important to take a step back and understand what is it that you bring, and then how you can use AI as a tool if you want to use it. if it's really going to help you. And that is how I would say. And then, so don't get carried away by the specifics of the tool or the industry claiming that AI is replacing your job. AI is not going to replace your job if you know what you bring to the table and you keep upskilling yourself. And so I would say, think about what are the applications that are being used, and what is it doing, what should it be doing. So if you're sitting in HR and you want this whole HR informatics, there's a whole lot of areas within HR. I've just put this as one bucket in here. So again, um, AI in HR has been there forever. AI in marketing has been there forever. Uh, Legal and accounting is one of those areas where they say, oh, it's a lot of document and AI is going to do this. AI is giving recommendations to judges on who to give bail or not in US, and it's so buggy and it is not ethical. So there's a lot of room for you to come in and work. If you're building those products, if you're in a company building those products, all it is doing is basic machine learning. It might have a chat wrapped up like LLM on the front, but it's not doing LLM. It is just doing machine learning. So looking at the data sets that it is trained with, whether that it has fairness or bias, whether it is doing machine learning, what model it is using. So it goes back. So you can start at an application level, go down here and find what data, what AI, what ethics that you need to learn and improve, and then make your job better. If you're sitting in a company and you see them using AI, just don't say, oh, that's a tool. Oh my God, I don't know this tool. Oh my God, do I know coding? Think about what is it doing, what it should be doing, what is your role in there. That's how you keep your job. That's how you help your clients, how help your company, and you help yourself. And then I want to come to advanced topics. Agent AI, LMS shared the Agent AI course in there. If you're working, there was a period where people were very hung up on models and say this model, that model, open source model. So in my books, I have on my Gen AI book, like, different models, what is open source, how to select models, how to, to use a tool. Nowadays, a lot of the tools are like model agnostic, so you can pick whichever model. But when they're talking model, today they're talking about large language models, but there's models, AI models everywhere behind the brains of all AI. So understanding models, understanding API access, if you're going to be programmatically accessing them, different cloud, and the new thing is agentic AI. Within agentic AI, there's personalized agents, there's agents on the browser, and that's where I showed you, right? If you joined me late, right at the beginning, I showed you an AI trends course on LinkedIn Learning, which is free, and I've contributed a lesson about physical AI in there. That is a very good one where you can learn, the latest topics, right? That you can learn to just make sense of it. But I would recommend Agent AI is definitely a trend that is where latest technology products are being built. So don't get scared if you hear jargons and say, oh, Agent AI. I believe you should get a foundation knowledge of Agent AI, just like you're getting a foundation knowledge of AI, all the different AI before you pick one. It's important to understand what is agentic AI just as foundation knowledge. Then the important thing is to stop and think about what is the domain knowledge you bring. You can help your company build an AI readiness map, because all companies are not AI ready. Even the top ones working with AI at all levels, they're not AI ready. And then you need to figure out what skills you have that is transferable skill. How do you bring any of your existing years of experience? I was saying you different applications. What business acumen are you going to bring to translate to training data? How are you going to help for validation? How are you going to help with fine tuning? How are you understanding inference data? How are you understanding the security or privacy of products or fairness? How do you measure ROI? Nobody has cracked that. So if that is something that you want to put your mind to, you have a permanent job for the rest of your life. So I'm going to pause here for a minute, come back to look at you guys. Okay. Oh, the numbers have gone up. So for those of you who are here, if you ask me a question, I'm going to answer it. If you're just listening, that's okay too. And what I've shared here as the upskilling for AI in your career framework, we will be sharing it at Business School of AI. LM from my team is here, and he's just shared a link to the Business School of AI. that's my learner community, so we'll be sharing and posting things there. Typically, my newsletter, the Limitless newsletter, is one where I share weekly new topics, and then once a month, what is shared here is the newsletter. What else have I got? Okay, so is there any other question? Is it too much? Do you want to pause and process that? Ask me any question, because I am reaching the end of my hour and it flies by, guys. It just flies by. So I'm very happy to see you all. So I have shared the AI trends. I think the AI trends, Elam, I think we should share the AI trends one also. Let me do this. I didn't want to share just the list of my courses. I changed my mind. I'm going to do that because the AI trends one is also. Here's list of my LinkedIn learning courses includes AI trends. Usually I'm like sitting here and on the chat and chatting away, but because I was sharing something, I was off. Okay. Okay, thank you, thank you. I see you. Thank you, thank you. Is this my third Sudha Live session? Oh my God, it feels like a masterclass. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope, Yesha, I hope you're following Business School of AI, because outside of this, we bring a speaker once a month on an event called Weekly Wed. It's not live streamed here, it's a Zoom room session. And we bring a topic based on what people are interested in from my learners. So the more of you who communicate with me, it will help me kind of pivot and focus, because that's how I operate. I just don't go and say, I'm seeing this trend in industry, let me go do something. I like to get validation and feedback from my students. And one of the things that we've been talking internally is, once a month I do this Sudha Live. Once a month we bring a speaker and do weekly wed. I'm looking at Yasha's comment here. I'm upskilling in AI systems and explainability. What's the one capability shift that takes a designer from being great at craft to being indispensable in the room? Customer empathy. It sounds like a cliche, especially in today's world when you have chatbots. You know how much, as a designer, you think about what at every point you're saying, what is the customer thinking, feeling. You do that emotions map, and then you create the pathway and all that stuff. But then, uh, when people are building chatbots for customer support using LLMs, there is so much frustration of customers that's not being captured. Lot of things are being automated. The chatbot gives an answer and the customer didn't like it. What was the right one? And then it is called reinforced human feedback. Reinforced learning human feedback is a technology by which they are just taking the frustration of the customer and they're feeding it back to do more fine tuning. So I would say understanding the customer, fighting for the customer, uh, to make sure that the design principles are implemented is important. And if you're thinking about a technology topic, I would say fine tuning. Understand fine tuning, which is used in chatbots, which is used in machine language translation models. I had mentioned I will talk to you about language models, guys. I didn't get the time for it. One of the things I wanted to share, and then I want to leave you with this. Uh, when you go use any product, how many languages does the product typically support? Do you know? So if you see any kind of technology product, it says, I'm supporting so many products, so many languages, but it's very ad hoc. How many languages? So I'm going to share one last time. I'm going to share my screen. This is from Zoom, from their site. Languages currently supported by Zoom, right? And for AI companion feature, and this is supported by Zoom AI companion feature, and this is one. So this is basically sending prompts, and while you're in Zoom, you can chat with it in a workplace. So this is the set of languages. There are 7,134 plus languages in the world. Look at the number of languages supported here. And when you finish a meeting on Zoom, you get a summary. And this is the set of languages. This is slightly longer than that list. And then in meeting, you can actually chat with questions. They've had that feature. You can generate a virtual background, and that list is longer. And it can do smart recording. That list is small. So you can see the list of languages within one country, within one company, on one Zoom product, various aspects of adding AI, the different languages that are supported or not supported. And then sentence completion is the LLM one. Again, it's, ChatGPT is supposed to understand 95 languages, and there are models that, make it understand like 200 languages. And here, sentence completion, this looks like a 25, 30 language list. So my question to you is, here you can see that again varying. And if you are working in Zoom, talk to me. I would like to know, how do you decide what languages you're supporting? What is the bottleneck? How do you go about it? But from my understanding of this, it appears to me that it's very ad hoc in every product, in every company. And so, if you learn fine tuning, that's a skill that you can bring to your company to help build, design products with empathy, to actually add support for various languages. If you're coming from a data perspective, you can learn fine tuning to get the right data sets for fine tuning. If you're learning technology, fine tuning is good. If you're looking at customer experience, that is, you can actually make sure that right languages are supported. So that's one. I'm a big believer. I've been saying this in my holiday learning plan end of the year, past 2 years. Fine tuning is one topic that everyone should learn, whatever you pick in that whole framework that I've been sharing with you. So with that, we are past our time. So thank you everyone for all your engagement. I really appreciate you finding the time, chatting with me, and having this. Making this very interactive, because I tend to be a better teacher when I see my students here, because I live for that. I'm not a person. I do go off and do recording off in LinkedIn studios and stuff, but I love it when I can have a conversation with my students. So I appreciate that. So come back, talk to us, follow Business School of AI, and you'll find the way to connect to come to Weekly Wed. I've been talking to my team whether we should have a smaller circle, which is outside of all the activities we're doing. Should we start like small group discussion circles on Zoom, where we can have 10 to 15 people come together on similar topics and meet and discuss and help each other? Uh, I would like feedback from you if that's something that you would be interested. So ping me, happy to talk to you. You can actually come to Business School of AI, chat with us, or DMS, and we'll be happy to talk to you. Okay. And with that, I'm going to wrap up. Stay safe and make sure that you tag your friends. You can come back, watch this. I'll come back for next couple days as I'm seeing notifications, and we'll come back and answer your questions. So go home, sleep over it. When you see the framework that is shared on Business School of AI, if you have more questions, I'm happy to, give you get answers. And tag your friends. If your friend watches this and has more questions, I'm happy to come and do that too. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you, everybody. Bye.